The political moment we're living through right now is making us sick, and I don't mean that metaphorically. Global history shows us that the kind of sustained and intense political stress we're living through has real and concrete effects, not only on our mental health, but on our physical health too. For example, after the collapse of the Soviet Union in the early 1990s, researchers documented a record-breaking decline in life expectancy in several former Soviet states. When researchers dug into why, they found that the largest contributor was cardiovascular causes, so things like heart attacks and strokes, especially among working-age adults. While economic shock and alcohol use contributed, public health researchers found that the main drivers of this were the sudden loss of institutional stability, social trust, and economic security. In this example, social collapse translated directly into stress-related disease and early death. And it isn't only long-term collapse that matters. In Spain, researchers later examined the health effects of the failed 1981 military coup attempt. The coup was brief and unsuccessful, but babies who were born to mothers who were pregnant during that short period of political instability were born with significantly lower birth weights on average, showing that even temporary threats to democratic stability can leave a physical impact. And these aren't just cherry-picked examples to prove my point here. Large population-level studies across countries consistently show that sustained political conflict and instability are associated with higher rates of stress-related mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. And decades of research shows us that those conditions carry substantial physical health risks, including cardiovascular disease and earlier mortality. Taken together, these findings tell us a clear story. Political instability is not just a social or moral crisis. It's a biological one. Our nervous systems evolved to continuously assess environmental safety. And in our modern world, we rely on things like stable institutions, predictable rules, and shared norms to keep our nervous systems regulated. And when these systems fail, our bodies respond as if our environment has become unsafe. And our bodies can't remain in that state without paying a physical cost. If you want to read this full article with the references, head over to my Substack. The link is in my bio.